Hey all, my name is Kurt. I'm here with Trent. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. And Trent, I know you have an idea how long I've been somewhat preparing for this video.
Years it feels like. At this point.
It's at least a year that I've been trying to collect Kirkland whiskeys, specifically bourbons.
They're not easy to come by at our Costco.
No, our Costco just drops the ball. Drops the ball.
I've heard people's Costco's getting like George T. Stagg and stuff, and our Costco gets like 4 Roses.
The only thing I really see there consistently, Lafroy 25-year.
What?
It's like they're all the time. I'll get you one. You want me to get you one?
No. I don't know. Scotch, no thanks. I'm a pass.
I will say this, though. Many, many thanks to the folks that helped us out with this video. We had a few of you send us the bottles. I think it was Joe sent us this bottle in bond.
You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. I apologize. I really don't recall on the single barrel. And we had several others, even Bueller. Thank you. Thank you for that. So we had several others, though, too, Trent. I didn't even tell you about after the fact. You know, they volunteered to send us stuff too, cool. And after a while I said we got some, so don't waste time. But many people tried to help us with this video, and truth be known, I personally only bought the small batch and the Tennessee bourbon trend. That's all I bought here. That's all I could find here. So
the show is happening because of you folks. So
that's exactly right, and I am thrilled because I've wanted to do this a long time. And
I know
you know that. So we're going to get into this here real quick, but Trenton's got just a few quick minutes here for you.
We are closing out 2022 pretty quickly, and next year we have some incredible barrel picks lined up. We just got done with our new riff pick that just came out last week. We have, I think, 8 or 9 already lined up for next year. Not limited to Jack Daniels. We have a Sagamore pick. We have an Elijah Craig pick. So if you want to get in on those, check out our Patreon. The link's in the description. Those are the only place where you're going to be able to get them, unless we do giveaways on our live show. So be sure you check that out. We have a lot of cool stuff going on over there, not just barrel picks. Links in the description.
Great. We appreciate all those who've already participated in the Patreon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get in on it, Trent. The very first one, I lined these up per price. Okay. So all these are 1 liter bottles, and I went from the cheapest to whatever the most expensive.
Gotcha.
So the very first is the small batch by 1792 Barton. This is $20 for the 1 liter bottle. Now we had that show not that long ago where
I'll put it somewhere. I won't forget. I'll probably forget, but
no, you will not. We compared this one to the actual 1792 small batch.
I already forgot what the results of that were. Well, I know that the 1792 small batch came out on top because the small batch is aged a little bit less than the small batch.
It was quite a bit better.
Yeah, I think the difference is like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but this has been open for a little while, and as you can see, several people have been down the bar and they want to try it. These are a lot of people want to try these.
Yeah,
they really do.
And these are great bargains. These are 1 liter bottles.
Yeah.
Costco's got to go big or go home, so you're getting a good value for what you get.
Absolutely.
So, I haven't tried any of these other ones, so
we'll see.
The nose is nice. It's sweet. It's like sort of sweet tarty.
You know what? I can't blame you on that one. I can't.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I was going to say, like a light sour fruit, but sweet tarty. I get it.
There's a lot of, I shouldn't say there's a lot. It's clearly young. It's a little bit thin.
Yes.
But what is this, $25? $20. It's 1 liter. It's rumored 5 year?
Yeah, it's rumored to be 5 years. It's 92 proof. And you get a little bit of rice spice there. A
little bit.
Yeah, you get a little bit of rice spice there too. But, it's not complex by any means. It is a little bit youthful. But it's not bad, really. And when you consider the price point, it's
hard to argue with that.
It's really not. You get a little bit of a caramel, a little bit of oak in there too. Like Trent said, it's a little thin. It is definitely a little bit thin, but there's nothing off-putting whatsoever in there. There's nothing that I would sip that and go, "Ooh, I can't do that."
Yeah.
So
crushable, even.
Yeah. Pretty decent.
Shout out to J Hoot.
We're gonna move on down the line to this bottled in bond. All right, this is Kirkland Bottle and Bond again by 1792 Barton.
Are all the these, the big guys here, and then I guess we'll get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah. This one's $25. Now, again, we didn't purchase this. This was sent to us. From what I gathered in my research online, it's about $25, Trent.
Wow.
So let's check it out and see what we got. It's got a little bit more caramel in the nose on this one.
For sure. A little bit more oak on the palate too. I'd be curious if this is also like a 5-year, or, but I don't.
Well, being bottle and bond, at least has to be 4 years.
Yeah.
So we know that's a minimum.
I wouldn't be surprised if something for this value was aged the minimum amount to be called a bottle and bond, but I love Costco. I don't want to talk trash, It's a little bitter from the oak, and it's pretty oak forward.
But you know what, Trenton? I definitely get the vanilla caramel. I definitely get that, absolutely. And it is, he's right. It is, there definitely is an oaky presence there. But to me, it lands a little bit on the sugary oak, a little bit. I mean, not immensely, but it does a little bit. It's not a damp oak note or something like that.
Damp? Yeah.
I don't think so. It's definitely a little bit oaky, but I still get the sweetness there too. I really do. I think for $25 for a liter, dude, that's not bad. That's pretty darn good.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm on the struggle bus in terms of finding much other flavors in here than oak.
The oak's grabbing you, huh?
It is. Like
try one more
lot
time.
Today.
One more time.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty sweet, but you gotta really search for the quintessential vanilla caramel stuff. It's there. It took me 4 sips to kind of find it, but even then, it's like barely there for me.
That's fine, and that's fair, because what I can get on your bus over is that oak is the predominant note.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. I just want to portray that it's not a bad oak.
No.
It's not a bad oak, but it is a dominant flavor.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no doubt there. I think it's pretty decent, to be honest with you. All right, here's one that's a little bit controversial. All right, this is the 7-year Tennessee whiskey, Kirkland brand, and from what I gather, it is sourced from Dickel.
Vitamin Flintstone.
Okay, Fred. This is $30. $30 for a liter, and this one is 103 proof.
I gotta be honest, I'm digging the nose a lot more on this one than I am on the bottle and bond one here.
Tell me why.
It's got a nice sweetness, and it's a little bit toned down on the oak there.
It's definitely toned down on the oak for sure.
I was kind of kidding with that Flintstone vitamin note. I don't really I get sort of like a minerality, but it's not. I used to chew on Flintstone vitamins as a kid and then take them out of my mouth and draw on them on the wall like a crayon, because I'm just intuitive like that. I was intuitive when I was 4.
Is that a true story?
That is a true story.
I don't mean to brag, but
bro,
The stories I could tell.
seriously. Yeah, I don't ever get a Flintstone vitamin either myself. I refer to it more. To me, it's more of like a sour note of a fruit note, sour fruit note of some sort to me. And this is a little bit like a sour fruit on the nose, to be honest with you. For me, with the sweetness there, like you said.
And I don't know if there's like a rumored age on this one. There's nothing. Is it on the front? Oh, there you go. Why can't they do it for these 7 years?
My bad. I should have said that. My bad.
Come on.
It's a
Educate the folks.
7-year Tennessee straight bourbon whiskey. Sorry, Trent. I should have told you that. It's really not that bad, in my opinion. I just in my research last night, I found folks going both ways on it. I think a lot of people have a hang up with Dickel. I really do. And if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's okay. If you absolutely don't like it anyways, you probably won't like this bottle.
The Dickel 8 year is pretty good.
But, and the bottle and bond, I think, is not that bad.
No.
There are some that I just really don't like. This isn't one of them. This is one I think is pretty decent.
I will say that, I mean, I know that there's probably a pretty significant age difference, but I like this a lot better than this guy here. That's actually pretty.
I don't know if I
like
do.
that. No,
I kind of like this one, but
that's fair.
again, it's not by leaps and bounds. It's not head and shoulders over this one. This does have that like real sour type cherry note or whatever is in there,
good
like
sour,
that. That and you do. You love sour stuff, so I can get that. I think it's pretty good though. I mean, I think it's pretty decent.
How much was it again?
$30 for the liter.
Oh.
Yeah,
come on.
So that's one you're going to have to make your own decision on. I mean, Dickel is one of those things you can flip a coin. Some like it, some love it, or some hate it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just the way it is. So it's a love-hate thing. All right, but last but not least, the single barrel, 120 proof.
All right.
This one is non-chill filtered, which I thought was pretty cool for being a kind of a Costco.
Yeah.
So this is also by Barton, 1792. But 120 proof, non-chill filtered, single barrel, pretty neat.
Yeah.
About $30.
Now it says on the back here that it has strong notes of oak interlaced with honey.
Oh, really?
I can see that on the
nose.
nose.
They had notes on the back, to be honest with you.
I normally don't read,
I get fruit on the nose.
but it is said dried fruit notes.
Oh, it does? I get
But
fruit.
I do get
fruit on the nose.
get the honey on here. It's really pleasant on the nose. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah,
How much did you say a price on this?
$30.
What?
It's about $30.
So this is like a budget 1792 full proof. The age is probably a little bit less. But man,
But that's pretty good.
I'm all over that.
That's pretty good. Now, wow, I'm taking in consideration the price. Because as you said, for me, I could tell it's just a little bit youthful. But that's the only dig I can put on that.
It's got great flavors. And I love the finish is nice and it's like a rice spicy that I get.
The finish is still going for me.
Yeah, it's there. It's not thin at all like the first one.
I think that has part to do with non-chill
Viscous.
filtered. It is viscous, probably for that reason as well. It's really, really good stuff. There's definitely some fruit in there, dried fruits of some sort. Definitely a little bit of oak, but you can't get, now that you said the honey, I can get a little honey on the palate too as well.
It's got that like honey, I feel like honey has a funk, sort of, and I'm getting that. And I really like it.
What I'm trying to get at here, on the back of the palate and getting into the finish,
I gotta try it again.
it for me it dives into like a darker baking spice, like a clove or something like that. But way in the back palate and moving into the finish, it gets a little bit darker.
I gotta go to the store and buy some cloves and just eat them. Because I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, well, can you sense like a darker flavor?
It reminds
as you
me
get
of
into the back palate and into the finish. Anything that's different from what you had in the middle of the palate.
I get almost like if I was in a kitchen at Christmas time and they were baking some cookies, that's kind of like the flavor that I get on the back. So it's definitely it's like a baking spice kind of thing.
Sure.
Maybe like allspice or something. But I need to go eat some cloves to
It's something for me in the back end of the palate, and the finish goes a little bit darker for me. And it's not like a molasses sugary note. It's more of a baking spice note to me.
I could see how it starts off pretty vibrant and then it goes into like more of a dark, but I don't know, and it could be clove. I don't know what that is or what it tastes like, but it's solid.
Yeah.
And for $30 for a 1 liter, how are you gonna not?
And that's the point here. $30 for this bottle, for a 1 liter bottle. Boy, if you can find this at your Costco, this is a steal in my opinion.
Buy them all.
In my opinion, Trenton, I'm still for me the small batch is still my least favorite, to be honest with you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I know we have a little bit of difference in the oak and the bottle and bond. So you're probably going to say your bottle and bond is your least favorite. Am I right?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, that's just a personal preference, and that's your palate, and that's what you like. But truthfully, the 7-year Tennessee bourbon
That would be my second place out of all these.
I think for me too, to be honest with you. And I know that might be we might be a little bit different for that, and that's okay. That happens, but but I think all in all, I'm really glad we were able to do this.
Yeah,
I really am,
because
thanks everybody for sending it to us, because this is budget stuff, honestly, and to get some of the flavors that we were getting on budget stuff, and most everybody should have a Costco somewhere around them.
Yeah,
I would think most. And hopefully you'll have more of these available than we do here.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing.
And I think it's worth it. I really think it's worth your investment is not large. So I think it's worth trying.
Yeah.
And see what your palate tells you. This to me is dynamite.
Yeah.
For the money, without question. So hey, that's all we got for you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, Trent, but I had a good time.
I had a decent time.
I had a good time going over this stuff. I've waited a long time for this video.
I feel like you've been talking about this for years now.
Thanks everyone for helping us make this happen today. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with the both of us in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.